Mark said, I have remembered for your kindness, your love, your marriage, your father, your marriage, your following me in the wilderness, in a land not sown. You will live in a desert land not sown. So he said, I have remembered for your kindness, let the love of your marriage, the love of my marriage, my life in the wilderness, a land not sown, you will live in a desert land, in a desert. So he said, Amar 6:440 I give him a God, Willisenis 444 my written alliance, Willis was, question for workshop, in which my dear Father is with us, a covenant of peace. This is to build between us a tool. Yes, and to help us build the covenant, to persevere, and especially to pray a lot in the prayer of the fathers. Must always bring my friends to him, in joint work towards the Creator, or as you were, and as a result, we will rise and be together with him, a covenant between us. So the Creator, the covenant, once this, we are he. Dear friends, in the first part of What is it that the Holy One changed the bodies? 193. Please interpret. Peace. We read in the book of the writings of Baal Har Sulam. 33. My articles put the bodies in the work. 1. Must interpret what is presented in the Gemara. And in this we must interpret what is said that Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair came to the river Jinni. He said to him, Do you doubt? And he said that the interpretation is that he said to the intention that he would give him and reach the river, namely, the desire to receive. Therefore, Pinchas ben Yair wants to turn into. This is called the Creator and the Creator in the Ankarat, and it must be known during the work to perceive the owner of the person. No argument. What the person thinks is right claims that are written that interpretation and not in this we call it perseverance. Perseverance. Second nature. And especially we need to try hard to influence, to speak about the desire to receive and inherit peace to overcome. That sometimes a person receives a break in them. Can one day and then start working again. Try hard and a very strong will. And this is similar to a person who wants and is great all day, but they are weak and do not knock. He is in the name of breaking the big stone, and he says that he is breaking the stone, which is not true. Our daughter, and not slowly. The stone is also in the holy work at he means what he says we get stuck, and this is everyone. In this situation that we have enough to summarize all the time. I know that there are things to consider and RLM, and there are all kinds of stories and depictions of how argued with this barrier with this will receive that we have standing before us. This way that we to maybe go around. Some way to get along with it for later. May jump ahead of it. Always head to head. There is a simple issue does not agree to leave. This I too inclination is help made him against him because it operates. He gives a person the ability. Never pro. All variable. For this waiting for this right to us it is necessary a strong desire to measure a multitude of rises and falls. How to do the calculation here and now. It is necessary to be here and now in the environment, specifically through that he gets closer to success because on his own will certainly have no strength, rather there has to be a big strong environment which is solidified. And then everyone understands that they have no choice and this is here it is to try to give space. It is called capable already. We say that the most important thing is education first and foremost, because you have to build an environment that is order of studies and order of dissemination of all kinds of things in the world. That's why these are things that you have been doing for years and need more accumulate. This is, tell me please, what does it mean that he says to him, you will be my slave? These are two forces that operate in the blood. It turns out that a person turns to the desire to receive. We need to do. People on the streets to do good. We start to want to do. Desire. A person begins to understand these forces. He is on top of the other. One force and other two. Person is from life. You to thank he sorry about that. A problem with my button. The evil inclination that is really our enemy. It is related only to the desire to receive. I don't understand how you understand. All creative. Protect itself. I want to resemble the pit. So then to nature. So I am the desire to receive. My animate. This is considered the evil desire to receive. The accepted ones. A minute. Doesn't give. They don't violate. The person may all kinds of things hinder you. Obstruct you from getting closer to the Creator. And then he opposes. Okay. So in the end, it's just like always. On purpose. Yes. Not only on purpose. Also in good. PT12 okay PT12. Good Rabbi, there is a situation that a person is not able to do. As force enters the two. Opportunist dire. Good PT19 PT19. Good friends, on the one hand we learn we need not do anything I fixed. That we need more. Between us the connection. Must the Creator says that if every morning, even for a lesson, all this will not help. Unadd. On top of the I will. Start. This is exactly you say that will help us. Eruption. Good. Tel Aviv. Rabbi, you could explain what the base does so that I may. Second time. Some groups that want women asked me to praise him. We tested the Creator. If we break you we do not have midnight to the container of the heart, the shape of a heart, and our mind in such a way we are such that returned the vessel of the first man, the first man that becomes resurrected, it rises back to life. This is how it. Brazil. What does the meaning of fixed? Us what to do we need to try such because there are many. Ad until demon drank there such a feeling. Yes, as our man that we are in. You words so want. Question in this context from Mac 25. How can we understand this connection? All the desired that we want their system this week, called the soul of the first of. This is called wanted. Very much that we do so. I don't know how to say must according to this check how the new day went. Direction. But it's still like children playing this game. The whole. Understand that we have no choice. What situations she goes through, how much you will have to suffer until you understand that you will have to learn what progress like this is because of what we want her in retreat. Going down to the autumn of the lesson, we will learn from a lesson by Rabbi Laitman dated 20 Harlachkim said, and also in the Aravat system and on the Good Environment site. 39. Yes, in all said want to receive, so it is not called that he is a benevolent object. Here it is not that I do not be benevolent object, the tools to receive more benevolent object towards the shortcomings of the desire to receive here inside, that I am inside receive, that receive have in them a system the same souls become in this harmful, and RLM I don't how much, that was the advance. And my decision was that I am the one who is. These 80% that are outside are not given. First line of the comment, the beginning and not the head screen. Because the screen of the head is a switch from this effect. What is rolled? As much as the calculation is capable of. And in this, the desire of the stickiness is made inside everything. The desires that are in turn inside the face are therefore called inside the face. Yes, they come together inside each other. The pleasure in this is that there is a bestseller in him. Unification takes place, being the creeping becomes to feel created. This face is repeated. These desires are one thing and receiving different things. Let's say, according to that example, I have no other option than to say, akal, on things. Pleasure. They mean inside mine. I mean I have a full plan. This is me. I am a Sabbath. some who are not. Confidence, nothing. Here, everything is simple. It is not found that the D's are used without. So I am as important as des, sapphire, and possible. The desires, but you can say so that there is towards use. I do not refer to this piece of key that causes pleasure for the house, and after that, desire to enjoy the desire is covered in their takeover others does not explain at all that we have a lot of ways that are revealed within everything and will be explained. Only the rish of the return means its place limits cause tan of he turns in the language of everything base, not the rishaf. He brings now light circle, did his work. Okay, possible. All this the market is Kriviana in ease. Compared to what was revealed before, the intensity of pleasures is that which is not able. Now importance. Well, my hand I want. What I can achieve. More. Now comes out. Able the screen. He decides it from his head in. His feeling in his body takes place in the head. Our problem that there are here on the side of which things we do not know more. It is like all the wisdom of Kabbalah until nothing happens inside and it is known that the drinking of the form, and on the one hand, and such are ed as he writes, are previous in the end, drops the screen lowering and the screen. This is the action, and when it returns back. But this is what it is. Done more. In 5 degrees the father. Root father Gede. Indeed together. Changed. Past. Dressing. Now pairing minute. Parent at here. Has it registered? Yes, from a situation there is. If they registered a new one, then they must be doing a new account here. New. Which is called a face, and the next. And the expensive of this change differentiates. Now the face place the band the son is called the son to the privlet. Say a father he split. Need. What 7? These only that the person later as we are. Below. How to realize it we of the upper. Murmur. Only after the break. She is obliged to be we will. Move on to the next part of the lesson. Evening lesson. Korach 1, page 107. And below. We will want to curse the Rabbi among us about the heavens and our distinctions, and in the first part of ours, there should be and there should be a partition between us and the Creator, that also court me that a lesson together comes to break a partition that what the Lord himself is in it. If we break through the partition, we discover that we are really intending to call the status of the Rabbi who want to preserve the partition itself. That time is precious to us. Twice as much as it is. Korach 1, page 107 in the Zohar, Hezekiah. And this is his language there in the psalm. Here, near the wall, and where it is written, Hezekiah, inside. And likewise, what is a tizoma, a thing that the interpreter of the Zohar explains there, and on the side of the Shekinah. And according to this, what everyone says must be interpreted. Then he explains therefore the hands of the heart must be explained. It is found that the matter of the partition between him and the wall is the partition for the marrow to see, and that all their desire and desire for Hashem, then we call it happened. But first of all, we must know, and it is our duty to strive for, what disadvantage we need to qualify. And if we can overcome it, it is known that the main thing is the turtle. Many of our interpretations can be in heaven, and this is what man does not do. So he has conquered the heat of creation, but the examination called to bestow a place of rest in the created, and for this to bestow in it is worth raising it, and it is called a city, as it is written. And a city means as it is written a small city, and people interpret its language as a body, women, on the stage of the soul. Therefore we also need before God that the body wants to are down in, then all the lost to be praised. Work, and there is, and as it is written in the light of all the living the field, which means there, as well here that, man, heaven, is a benefit for self-love, so this work, and everything he does. Work, and this is called God, that means the divine presence. That is if he thinks of himself that he is in the sky, not what is not so, that there is between the wall as in, but wants his work to bestow, then he feels himself, because he does not see in this work the desire to receive that, then all the organs die to this work, and now we will understand what we need, mainly the prayer that the divine presence is in the nose. That means a field in order to bestow. We ask the Lord for our eyes, and for this we ask from the dust of the holy field. It is written in Zoharmona, they feel no trace of this mud, so they ask Hashem, and instead of the work that is based on the desire to influence, then their work is in terms of the signs and shortcomings of others, which is dead in terms of the lowly, which without the holy one, blessed be he, cannot do. So there are no people called lowly who want a heart that is also called lowly, so they can say what is written, and then they say what is now, that they feel now what was before in terms of what they would feel now as lowly. They are ashamed to work, but who gave them this power? Not the Holy One, blessed be he, gave it. Therefore, man says, then they influence the land and the work we strive to do. The Holy One, Adam says, regarding the Shekinah in exile, the intention being that man was called from 7, Israel, where she is in exile, where the world is nothing for their benefit. The nations of the world, Israel, the Creator, called me to work in order to receive. And according to this, Israel must be interpreted as being in exile, who are not straight, all the Shekinah with them, who are also in exile, straight, all the Shekinah with them, who are also in exile. She cannot control them, they rule over them. Not to us. Give us your glory. The nations said, their God is in heaven, which we are, to help us get out of the world. We want to receive our thoughts, but to drink and drink. This is called revelation, and this is a matter of why we are measured. What do they say? That they are dead, like all the work of the Gentiles is in heaven, specifically for the water that our minds can do. He did everything he wanted, and he understood that by the power of God there is more success. We can do the good together with this woman and not benefit himself. And we must interpret your kindness and your truth that we pray for, because honor is in this. Then we can later do the good and the righteous. Therefore, we call it revelation. May God bless you with the truth. His providence to his disciples. Nazar is in the stream, on your truth. Friends, we read the article. What did we feel? What did we understand? In time, so we have a workshop. 1 year. What did we understand? What did we feel? What did we feel? We came up with it in time. Okay, well, I marked a lot of things here in the article. After the rabbi. Here are the very foundations. First of all, we must know our duty to try to understand. We need to achieve what really begins from this foundation to knowing. It's really fun to see how he leads us emotionally and gives us how we should pray for this prayer. There are many questions around how the Creator will give us the prayer that the Creator is that we need to walk in the influence of the degree of grace, as the Creator is the one who influences, according to the law of the inversion of form. What is it really to influence? I understood that the basis of the work in front of the wall, as if it means that the Holy Shekinah is a human being. Yes, to establish his work and know in our organs, we express it naturally, simply, but the basis of work above the degree. So, really, no one has no desire to influence a small city and people. It is felt at first. The work is like dirt. There is no point in it. Slowly, the environment is affected by a strong will that awakens in a person. We reach such a prayer and yes, exactly regarding this point, that is, within the mind, called Israel. What is the will? That will to influence. It awakens in us. This is what our state of mind is like. When you read this and hear the friends reach a solution that is clearer, reach to receive better, also describes coming to pray. All kinds of situations that feel like this action. For this turtle situation, nothing more. And then we really start to have it for the. Then there is another form of ox, and all the time the form. That is, the forms to be. Our possibility, our opportunity for humiliations, we can say, only after going through all of the humiliation. This is a word. There is a very, very big request here to the Creator to help us to come out of exile, to help us do work on ourselves. Right in this internal relationship, which is the importance, it does not give such an attitude that we have really been given. We will really have a very difficult point, as if I now need to practice that. I will feel, of course, prayer, and then to do it as if I am the first, the main thing that should be in this situation. This is simply on paper, but the truth is that we have come, everything passes through our heart on the will. It is difficult. It is impossible for the world to give. So, now we will watch a clip of another person working for many years to be many faces, and again the rule and the lure of rewards. He begins to feel that he is discovering what it can be, feeling that apart from time to reduce himself, he does not need to do anything to work, and the woman who is only, and he cannot do it in advance, that he comes. He sees that this is how it is and brings him in it and how he is in it. So he comes to the degree of a strong man who has his face turned to the side. Maybe already entering this, it is already great, as well as to see that he can hear Lazarus. Friends, we will soon read another part of the story. So difficult, we will soon read part of what, and answer what to read. Readers from a thing that we began to know in the 5th paragraph, from the beginning of the 5th paragraph. But first of all we must know, first of all we must strive with our whole being. We need to pray for some disadvantage, to say, and if we can, we will no longer lack. Here is known the singer of prayer. This is the interpretation of places, what is written, and there are many interpretations about it. What we can understand a little. If a person accepts anything in the world, his purpose is only to serve the king, by which he will benefit, then the ability to guide what he is, and will be capable of saying the thought of creation, however, which is called to bestow. They have been given, and for this there is no such thing at all, and this is God and me. Every city will be built, and a city humbled with a little stone, and this is what the ancient said, for example, his body with its own abilities. You should interpret, while the body wants, in this body, all the organs, and work to bestow, that is, it is completely like the snake's completeness of the whole of the field. Go to the mind, as well here in time, and you are the self-love of the work in humiliation, and everything that he feels in this work is an ore on its bottom. That is, the Shekinah, on the basis of the Atzim. He thinks of him as the height of the perfect virtues. What is not so when he wants to transfer, but wants the basis of the Shekinah, that he is in the watch, because he does not see in this work then all the organs. And now we will understand what we need to pray for. Prayer should be about what the Shekinah, that is, work, and in addition to our eyes, and for this we ask, as from the sky brings, as we know, is called the poor leaves that see reality of the resurrection, so they are to the Lord. So what we need to pray for is so difficult. What we need to pray for, please. Yes, it is not easy to even say what to pray for, because this is the desire to receive. Also, for this, even really there is here that is clear from the article. We see humiliation in this work, and this is what a situation that we need to reach, and that is why we do not agree to the work a person to deceive those who are worthy of this work. And it is difficult because the desire to receive is not willing to admit it is not willing to agree. Yes, continue that the desire to receive from the Lord, that is the sky, we will be with you, the Shekinah that is in the dust, that we are not able to do. And it seems to me that the second prayer, that we are the second and give all this, came one in 1 year to hear that we must persevere in this need. Yes, it is difficult because it goes through many stages. In these stages, it is already possible from the Messiah to this work that the final form. But we need to work. We first need to work. We ask for ourselves in the beginning that it is to ask for what to ask for. And then after all this, we need the ignorant to help us in the ministry. We're all our. Actually, what did we do? We ask that these armies reach this humiliation in work to strengthen each other. The goal that we will reach at the end of the first, that we have this disadvantage, that then we already need a disadvantage, and not just something that we are, that a person, while a person starts working at work, so this work feels that he is every action that of itself he does not feel some personal benefit. Very, very, very difficult. Must like this. And this prayer, we who came, it will be one on one another. The ignorant has a problem he cannot give us. So we will not be like him. We will not be independent. We need that. We deserve it. We will earn it. This is a struggle, and therefore the real difficulty. Because when he gave us it's free. It doesn't end there. It's just starting to renew and return and start from scratch. The most precious thing in the world is to be poor in the Creator. I think the Q most central prayer is prayer. Friends, we will continue. Let's give our hearts to the Son. Give us advice. And then what is in this advice? How is it in our work? Let's read. We begin. And according to the verse, this is a paragraph that is right before me. It must be interpreted. And according to the verse, it must be interpreted. It is said, not to us, that we want, but to your name. Let it be so, that its Shekinah is in its exile. The Shekinah of the cow will be revealed, and it is called, let it be sanctified. Why will the Gentiles, the nations of the world, say that they are against God, that all the work of our God is in heaven, which is above the blood of heaven?